what hear from Ronnie. I want, yeah, that kind of supports me.
Thank you for asking for what you need. I imagine it would also serve others. Is there anyone who is willing to reflect what you got from what I shared or try to summarize it? Jill.
Yeah, what I heard is how when people come together, in particular if there's a passionate topic that's really alive in people, that there can be this desire to um, get straight to perhaps a strategy or a plan on how to address this concern, and that there can be that energy in us can almost have like a violent energy as well. So the sort of paradox of having this almost violent energy alive, trying to uh, put out violence, and how it often ends up just fueling that which we don't want. And so an invitation to bring more peace within ourselves innerly while we're navigating the challenge outwardly, and really bringing consciousness to that. And there was also something in Roni's sharing I heard around when we come together in a group that there can be sort of multiple agendas or ideas at the same time, and that maybe the reframe or what I think I heard is the invitation to not have those things opposing. It's not an either or opposing energy, but to be open to this part. I'm maybe not as quite clear. Um, uh, I guess just what was alive in me was just the appreciation of recognizing um, the two coexisting at the same time, and not having this energy of choosing either or. Is that kind of capturing it, Roni? I feel like there's parts I didn't maybe quite grasp.
I love hearing whichever parts resonated with you. I think that the piece that you are not quite catching at the end is about then the invitation is into creativity, about what could we be doing together or not together and how, so that we are integrating all of the different needs that are in the space.
Right, yes. Thank you for closing that for me. That's helpful.
Is there anyone who wanted to add something or saw something differently? And if not, then I want to return to my original request, which is, does anyone have even a tiny bit of an idea or a very concrete proposal of what we might do next that would be integrating the needs that you've heard so far?
I think we need to help ourselves, educating ourselves about what is going on in the world, and how can we peacefully affect and have our own agenda of um, of peaceful work. For example, when we see that how U.S. and Zionist Israel are preparing for more war, we could together organize a delegation, um, going and having fun, enjoying traveling, and enjoying and seeing other people in the world and communicating with them, and connecting. That would be one of the things we can do: travel, enjoy. Or another thing, that I'm 85 years old, and as you heard, I have a surgery coming, laminectomy tomorrow. Giving parties, regular parties, having fun, storytelling, gossiping, laughing, playing, dancing, music, poetry, all of that regular, and having fun in that relationship, which I've had it all my life. And Iranians really, truthfully, are full of mehr, which means love. They really are crazy for partying, crazy for music, crazy for poetry. They really are. For having guests, they say guest is gift of God. And in the streets of Iran, they grab you and beg you to come to have party. And they did with us, delegation that we went. So let's enjoy and talk about all these nice things and
Thank you,
enjoy
Norby.
making it part of our daily life. That would prevent them. The more we do that, the more we get to know each other, the more we
I want to check that I got the essence of what you shared. So I think what I'm hearing from you is that you would enjoy talking to other people about how you can organize some of these activities that are focused on connecting, maybe organizing a delegation or travel, and just enjoying each other as humans. Did I get that?
Yes.
Thank you. Melissa, I saw a hand from you along the way and then you lowered it. Do you still have something you want to say?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I had a suggestion for a practice. It's not a fully formed proposal, so if you could support me in making it a fully formed proposal, that would be appreciated. I was thinking about what Sate said and this feeling that I had from what Nuri shared of really wanting to find a way of connecting with people. And I was wondering if a practice around guessing the essence of the stakeholders in the particular situation that you're talking about. Like what are people really wanting? People who don't want war, people who do want war, to see what they are really longing for and to use that as an exercise. So to guess with the people that you know who are involved.
Mm-hmm. And what gives you a sense that this is not a complete proposal?
Because I didn't propose who might be doing it and in what time frame and in what process.
What I would suggest doing is a quick check for interest, because that is one of the most important pieces of information you will need to get clarity about who might be doing it and for how long. If, for example, if everybody's interested, that very much answers the question of who's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can work our way from there. How does that sound?
Okay. Then I think I would like to check with everyone to see if there's interest in this activity and if you can just raise a hand for me so that I can see you. Okay. So I see a lot of interest and I am missing some hands of people with the most context. So I want to, yes, check with Greg or Eli to see if there is something that might, that we could change about the proposal that might catch what you were hoping to do. Are you willing to give me some input?
Sorry, my dogs are barking. Well, I obviously have a one-track mind right now, not to be disrespectful, but this is what I want to talk about urgently. So we could go into another room or we can engage. I don't want to put pressure on people, but that's the pressure on us right now. What can we do? Is it possible to do it? I know I'm like passing this tension on to you people, and it's not intentional. So,
Thank you. Thank you for that information. So I think what I would like to propose is that we have two rooms. One where we do the practice that I proposed, and one for talking about practical ideas of actions that can be taken. And we separate the group that way. And I want to check with you, Juanie, to see. Yes, I want to pass facilitation back to you because I was hoping to just bring an idea.
Thank you for bringing an idea and getting input from people. So at the moment, I'm hearing the proposal is that we will be in two groups. One group will be talking about practical ideas, and the other one will be doing the essence practice. Is there anyone who has a different proposal that they would prefer? Leslie.
I just have a clarifying question. If someone from the practical idea group could give one or two sentences about the objective of that group.
My intuition, Leslie, is that that is not going to be supportive in this moment because they've already shared quite a bit.
Got it. Okay.
Is it okay for you to let it sort itself out in the room?
Yes.
Thank you. Then, yes, the rooms have been open the whole time. So at any moment, the people who want to be working on practical things and feel so sense of urgency, I invite you to move into room 1. And if you don't know how to do that,
hey,
Can you pronounce your name for me again? Is it Ellie?
Ellie.
Ellie. Just Ellie. Okay. Thank you. I'm so sympathetic and empathetic with your feelings right now. I have been in a very dark place because I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
What do we?
exactly. I don't know what to do. You feel so small. Nothing you can do. And this is happening.
We should do. I'm wondering if we should do a global hunger strike, a hunger strike for peace. If we actually ask populations and reach out to, like right now, we have multiple groups here organizing for Palestinian rights, organizing for weapons embargoes, organizing for to stop Gen AI. Like we've got lots of groups that are worried about all the different things that are creating this potential for war. I wonder if we ask them to consider coming together and having a hunger strike. And maybe it's limited. Maybe we do it from sunrise to sunset. I don't know. But I'm wondering if there's some way we can link all the different groups that are fighting all the heaviness into one action that is easily doable by everyone. So not trying to get to one place, not trying to travel, not trying to...
Kim, it's starting to be too many words, if that's okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
We have Ellie and Nuri, we have permission to interrupt each other for certain joint agreements. And we actually practice it, which I think is really wonderful. So if we're getting too caught up, someone else will say, not that it's a wrong idea, but just too many words for right now.
To be honest, I didn't know anyone else was in the room. This is part of the limitations of I thought it was Ellie and I talking to each other.
No, there are 5 people in this room.
Wonderful. I'm on a
You
different.
should,
Okay.
you
No, no.
should, okay,
Can I say something? In
please.
this moment right now, with the urgency, the kind of activism that reads is what the superpowers are doing. Okay? Like US is bringing Navy ship and all the F-35s and whatnot. China is doing something else. I think it's just blocking the satellites of Elon Musk to continue cut off internet for Iran, to not add to the tensions and all the AI generated stuff. Iran has tested a missile that can travel 10,000 miles. So they're playing their cards in front of each other. And we're just watching. This force is coming in. Davos says, oh, I can hit you. Be careful. You have 3,000 people on your ship. They're within my reach. They're moving their small kamikaze boats close in the Gulf. So what do we do as small force that can be effective? Hunger strike makes me feel good, but I mean, what can we do? It just makes you
Ellie,
feel small. Yes, ma'am.
what I see is what is ours to do with the resources that we have where we are. I have tried to use my connections based on 6 decades of work and a certain amount of leadership that comes from how many times you're arrested. That's just part of how it works. You know what I mean, don't you, Nuri? Gives you a certain voice. Inside the peace movement, people are very confused. Our beautiful video about the trip to Iran triggered in some people that you and Alan specifically were being too pro-government. In his warm-hearted earnestness to express the beauty and intelligence of the Iranian women that he met, he spoke as if Iran was a paradise for women, which triggered people's stories worse than if we had, do you know what I mean? It triggered
I'm sorry. You make a conscious choice. I have made a conscious choice. I do have criticism. But when my country is under bombardment from, Elon Musk and Mossad and everybody else, and I have to think 70% is doing right, I'm going to emphasize on that. Not to please Wilf that, yeah, we should be without, you see me, I don't have a scarf. That should be enough.
I agree with you completely, and I
But
don't
thank
think
you to the
I don't
point
think
that
we
you're
should.
sharing with these groups. I mean,
I don't think we should bother with people who react with preformed ideas. We want to talk to the people whose hearts are open and with whom we can find a common consciousness of the desire for peace. And it's not, I think Nuri's film is beautiful. And the most beautiful thing about it is connecting with the Iranian people, which is much more powerful than lecturing about the history of how what happened to Mossadegh. We do that after. Here's the way I'm thinking. When I'm alienated from somebody, I need to have connection with them before I can correct the misunderstanding. Most people right now are so overwhelmed in the peace movement, they don't want to listen to another problem. They don't want to hear me talk about Iran because they're already busy with ICE and with fascism and with poverty and hunger. And we need to find a place where the people of Iran can be seen as human beings, which will make it harder to kill them. And when Nuri was speaking about the Iranian New Year, I was wondering if with the groups that we have not educated yet, we can at least celebrate and in the celebration, get to know each other. And in that getting to know her, we can educate about women and the truth. But I completely agree with you. I don't want to pander to these prejudices to people who've watched nothing but propaganda. I
Yeah,
don't
I
want
don't
to.
sound like them. I don't want to sound like them. No, let me shake you. I think other than you, and I have a right to exist.
Yes, I agree.
I'd like to say something. Um, what I'm hearing is the question of what can we do to stop war, and my gut answer to that is nothing at this point where it is. That's numero uno, is the hardest thing for me to realize. Nothing. But the only thing that I feel that I can do is I can be present. I can be present to what is happening, to the horror of it, to the urgency of it, and I can find my humanity. And if my humanity is to express myself, which you are doing beautifully, that in itself is humongous because it opens hearts. It is not nothing. It is the biggest thing that can be done is to not stay silent and to express our discontent, express our joy, express whatever it is that needs to come to be expressed. And I'm feeling that is the urgency of the moment. And also and this is probably the hardest thing, is for Ellie to express herself. I also have to, when Ellie expresses herself, Ellie is showing me a whole new universe that I didn't know that it really existed, because this Iran thing is drowned among around other horrors that are among in other parts of the world. So the ability to be present with each other, to listen, to keep our hearts open at this point. And the next bomb that goes out, maybe we will die in it, but I
Thank
will
you.
die with an open heart.
Thank you, Patricia. I am acting as facilitator in case no one noticed.
Anyway, I use a little bit of shock and awe. True. Because I come from a point that is not known. Like within our community, the minute I see me without the scarf, they assume I'm for the overthrow. And when I open my mouth, they're like, oh, you're traitors and that. We're having a lot of discussions with Nuri on TikTok. I have like 8,000 followers on one channel. We have lives and we get other people coming in. We engage with people pro-Shah. I think that's all we can contribute at this time, not having big media or having contact with Trump or Elon Musk or whatever. Raju, you muted yourself.
Kim?
Thank you. I want to um, hear from Ellie if she has ideas or suggestions of what she would like those of us who are not in Iran, but part of various movements. What would she like to see us do to help
I want to
stop
see
war?
articles about the recent unrest in Iran and about, after that failed, it was crippled by shutting down internet, and was the smartest thing. In 48 hours, the whole thing dropped because it was major cyber push, and they just shut it down and things dropped. That, and then, okay, this failed. Now they're moving their warships. Talking about this escalation, we need to have articles. I can't believe that World Beyond War or Wolf don't have any articles. Since Women Like Freedom, of course, after Gaza, Iran has not been a priority. Gaza still remains priority. But as preventive measure, would be nice to have some articles. We're watching. What are you doing? What's the purpose? Let's not act when it's done and it's over, because
What
there
would
will
those
be
articles say,
retaliation.
June?
Sorry?
I just want to reply. Ellie and Nori have given me to give to peace organizations information that I don't have the time or capacity right now to turn them into full articles. I'm hoping to make it, but as you know, I tend to take on more than I can do. I know some writers that we can meet with, Ellie, and we can
Well,
start.
Greg, by now those are outdated. One was the
Yes.
trip to Iran. One was the 12-day war. There's a new thing.
We need to.
Nobody has written anything. We need to write something urgently.
Also, what we have been doing, first of all, I really feel that the situation in Iran is very much connected to the issue of Palestine, because Iran is the only country standing up for Palestine. This is one. Second thing that we need to know, more than last 10 years, United States leadership, even during Bush, they started talking about destroying Syria, destroying Libya, destroying Syria, Libya. They attacked, of course, Afghanistan and Afghanistan and Iraq. We know about those things, and now at their level of plan, last 20 years, is Iran. And Israel is trying last 45 years that United States carries war against Iran and is pushing. And now with Trump in power, it's a very good time for them. And the sad thing is that destruction of one or two people on the top, that they do not have any concern on humanity or even themselves. They don't have the sense, are in power. What we have done, that I want maybe everybody to know, and maybe they want to, last 25 years, we have a peace vigil every Friday in a public place that is very crowded with transport, with cars and all that.
Vehicle and pedestrian traffic.
Vehicle and pedestrian traffic in our city, we have regular peace vigil. We also passed city council, with our effort, we passed
Gaza
ceasefire resolution we passed with our city council. This is another work that we do. The third one is really, I give parties, regular party coming, the third one, students in Santa Barbara and in San Diego and in Ventura. they had students in university, they had strike. I was making dinner for them and taking, and they loved it and enjoyed. And so many at the same time, I was talking for them of what is going on, and very young, intelligent student movement.
And the tribunal you're trying to organize, Nurjun, that's a big one.
Right. Right. And then we went to Iran ourselves, 5 of us, and everybody saw those that they were with us. They saw Americans. My husband, here he is, and he can, this was the first time that he was there, and he can express to you that how people in Iran are the kindest in the world. Really, the heart, the loving part of the world is in Iran, because everybody grabs you and say, come for dinner, and they make dinner and party and dance and music and poetry and all of that. This is what they do. That's all. This is love. This is knowing that whatever we are doing comes back to us. So for us that are for peace, if we practice it with our neighbors and our friends and having groups together and laughing and playing and eating, that's all. That's all we need to do. And then bring more people. They can get educated by the books, references, things that you have read or you want them to read or you yourself want to. And all of that together, they talk about so many different things and play games and everything.
So
That's
Nuri,
happy.
Nuri, my dear, your love shines so brightly that we can build a connection, and within that connection, we can educate. But Ellie, I think first we need to reach people. The people with their minds closed and made up aren't going to listen anyway. But there's many honest people who've been deceived, and we need to reach their hearts, and then their minds will open. So I hear two things that we've talked about as something. One is to work with people to get some articles for the education part, and the other is to have a party to open the hearts. Those are the two proposals. And I can work with you, Ellie, on the first. We can meet separately, and that's very important. And work with Nuri on the second. How does that sound?
Or having peace vigils.
Well, I like what we are doing on TikTok. We get few hundred people showing up every time. Americans, Iranians, pro-government, against government, and we engage with like 10 of them. We have conversations. Nuri and I managed to maybe make some pro-Shah person question what he was saying. That's something. And then Nuri June didn't want to talk about this tribunal that was talked about to send 10 prominent international judges to Iran to examine the documents of this unrest.
Right. What I have been suggesting is that I was involved myself in 2 international tribunals. One, Hawaii in 30 years ago was 100-year anniversary of Lili Okalani's overthrow by United States. And we had an international tribunal, 12 judges from all over the world. They came and island by island, we went to people, and people expressed what was going on. It was very interesting because it was very close to Hawaii is the latest takeover of United States over another state. So they were expressing their experience, it was very interesting. And then the second one, we did another tribunal for Philippines that at one point U.S. killed 500 innocent people that they moved to another northern part of Philippines, and they went and massacred children, women, men, everybody. So we had a tribunal for Philippines, that how United States colonized Philippines and what happened to people. And now I am suggesting that let us have a tribunal about what happened in Iran. 500 people were killed inside a peaceful demonstration and just request of business people, because United States, they got together with banking system and they increased the dollar.
The exchange rate, it went from about 80,000 reals to over 100,000 reals per dollar.
And this used to be 6 to 1, and now it is 80,000. Now it is 100,000 to 1.
145,000
exchanges. So they try to create, they try to destroy the economy of Iran.
Nuri,
Yes, my love.
there's very few of us here. I don't want you to wear yourself out. I'm a nurse and I love you, and I know you have surgery tomorrow. And I think the other group is getting back together. And if you want to leave and rest, that's fine, or you can come with us. We only have Nuri. I will follow up with you on the celebration idea, okay? And Ellie, I will follow up with you about the articles and how we can get some placed. Both will take work and getting outside connections, which in this case, there's many things I can't do, but I do have some connections in the peace movement. And
at least if you could analyze what's going on.
Right. And to analyze,
I don't know what's going on.
Which group for which topic? Like this group, World Beyond War, is good for articles and webinars, but not for actions. This group, between you, me, and the fence post, I think Wilf is useless, but that's just private. I have tender memories like Nuri does, but sad presence. And we can, there's others that we can explore and we can get together later. But I feel a real sense of hope.
Yes, I really appreciate, Greg, for you following up. My God, you could be Iranian.
You are beautiful.
Yes, and you too, Patricia. Thank you
so much. Thank you.
So I would like to, the other people are getting back together. I would like to join them and see, because I think they have insight that can help us. I was surprised last time with Ellie how much help we really got in presenting.
Yeah, he got right. But I think this lady doesn't want to divert from her line. And when I see rigidity like that, I know it's not my place.
I know there's
you get
sometimes
caught up in the structure, you forget the content. What's that for? I really want to ask you privately, how do you use this structure?
That's the question. That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it in a demonstration against World Bank, that they were doing hand gestures with thousands of people. That makes sense. But within a small group, question. Since you asked me to sign up for the seminar, I did once. But then every Wednesday I have the work here. So I was always late, couldn't get in.
I really appreciate you making time this once. There may be other people who specifically, like people that are shy and want to develop their speaking, they might, I want you to think about inviting people, because in this lab we practice leading. And people who are very shy and don't, but could be wonderful leaders, can try in a safe place. We practice interrupting people who talk too long. I did that once,
Yeah, I think
Nuri.
I didn't get an introduction that what is happening. I missed that. So
It can be confusing.
yeah, I want to know why do we do this? I mean, I saw it in the demonstration, made a lot of sense, those hand gestures. Police is here, go down. Okay. Okay. So do we go back? Main room?
Yeah, you know how to go back to the main room?
No, where do we go?
Okay, if you look at the bottom of your screen, for me, it's on the right-hand side. It says leave room. It has a little
Leave
person
room.
and a
Okay.
red button. You just push that, and that'll take you back.
Okay. Leave breakout room. Okay, got it.
So it's not this is the right way to think about framing, it's a way. And it's about influencing how we see and approach a situation. And framing is always happening, so it's not like you can tap out of it. Every time we do something, even when we're not speaking, our body language has framing in it. And reframing is telling a different story about the same situation to shift the focus or create new possibilities. In the picture, you can see an example of people holding two different frames. And this is not reframing. This is arguing about a frame. And that's not what we're aiming for. So the question is, how do we create a bridge between these two different ways of seeing the situation? So, why does this matter? For me, this is the most important part about framing. It matters because we are born into a shared social reality. And that means that the stories that we tell each other and the ways that we interact with each other are what reproduces and changes social norms. So if we want systemic change, then it's really important to be aware of the stories that we are putting into the spaces that we are in. Because if I come and I advocate for peace using stories like we need to exclude all the people who are against peace, then I am just reproducing the very thing that I'm wanting to change. So our stories matter. The other thing is sometimes people are like, oh, well, if it's all made up, what difference does it make? Even though social reality is made up, if people perceive a situation as real, it is real in its consequences. So money is made up.